Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I am your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self-improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We will also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 177 of my journey. At the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to run 365 days out of the year this year, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I had also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame. Now, this is my second year ever running. Within the first full year of running, I was able to run 1,002 miles, and I did that within 175 days out of the year in 2020. So this year will be a 100% step up in the amount of days I'll be running, not to mention even in a row, as well as a 50% step up in the amount of miles I am attempting to accomplish this year compared to last year, my first full year of running. That being said, let's talk about some miles. So for day 177 today, I was able to put in 3.5 miles for the day, which put me at 23.4 miles for the week. That put me at 116 miles even for the month, which put me at 776.2 miles for the year. Now, let's real quick focus on these monthly miles. For the month, every single month, I challenge myself to a 100-mile challenge. And I do that in honor of a charity in which I make a donation, as well as I start a fundraiser that follows along with the 100-mile challenge, where we try to raise money as well through the fundraiser, as well as spread awareness for the charity. So for the first 5 months, we were able to raise money for 5 great charities. Now we're sitting here in the month of June, and we are raising money for another great charity. This charity this month for the June 100-mile challenge is in honor of the Alzheimer's Association. And we chose this charity because the month of June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. So if you'd like to make a donation to this month's charity, you can find the link to do so on the Defining Discipline Instagram story, as well as the Defining Discipline Facebook story, or my personal page's Instagram story or Facebook story. Within those stories, on the top of the story, you'll see the link where it says donate on Facebook. You just click on that link. It'll open up the Facebook page where you're able to make your donations. Know that all donations that get made to this fundraiser go directly to this fundraiser. Facebook is taking 0% of your donations. So all the donations that you make go directly to this charity. That's why we do these fundraisers every single month through Facebook, is because they've made that agreement. Other than that, though, I do know times are tough and not everyone is able to make a donation. I get it. Don't feel bad. If you'd like to still help out, the best thing you could do is just click that share button. We are trying to raise awareness as well. So you hitting that share button, it helps spread awareness. It helps get it out there so other people can get their eyes on it. Maybe people on your friend's page, or on your friends list, on your pages, maybe they have the ability to donate. Maybe you don't, but maybe they will. So when you click that share button, it helps them see it. It helps get the awareness out there. And that's one thing we're trying to do, not just raise money, but really raise awareness for these charities throughout the month, guys. So, like I said, touching over it one more time, it is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. We are doing this for the Alzheimer's Association. You can find the link to donate on the Defining Discipline Instagram story, as well as the Defining Discipline Facebook story, or my personal page's Instagram or Facebook story. Other than that, I talked about miles and all of that. We talked about my challenges. This year, I've also challenged myself to run 2 big races, one being a 50K trail race, which I was able to do and get finished. Officially a ultra marathoner. And an actual marathon here coming up in October, the Detroit Free Press Marathon. Looking forward to that. It's going to be running that as well. But this 50K trail race is actually kind of going to have a theme on today's. It's going to be part of today's theme for today's episode. So I really wanted to touch on that and talk about that. It was a great, great race. And we will talk about it a little bit more here in a second when we bust into today's episode. But before we do that, I do want to do a quick talk about the book I am reading and the word of the day, which is a challenge I've added within this past month because it was something I wanted to do at the beginning of the year, was read 30 minutes a day and really try to become more literate and expand my vocabulary. So I'm doing the word of the days and been talking about the book I've been reading. Well, first off, was unable to read again last night. Read a couple days in a row, but a couple days ago before that, there was 2 days in a row where I wasn't able to read. Got back into it for a couple days, and again last night was unable to. Actually had engagements that I had to attend to today, where I had to last night really stay up late working on something for today's engagement. So didn't have the ability to read last night. No big deal. I was gonna get up and read this morning. Didn't do it because I still didn't finish what I needed to last night and had to work on it this morning, as well as do my run this morning. So I was busy, so didn't get to do it, but I am reading Beyond Order, Jordan Peterson's second book in his 12 Rules for Life series. So far, so good in the first rule. About halfway through that rule. Going to try to get some done tonight. If not done tonight, I will, because it's getting late. I will get it done tomorrow, double time for sure. So, yes, that is kind of the book we're reading. Now let's talk about the word of the day, which wouldn't think that, but hey, it is. It is. The word of the day today is thesaurus. Thesaurus is a book of words or information about a particular field or set of concepts, especially a book of words and their synonyms. A list of subject headings or descriptors, usually with a cross-reference system for use in the organization of collection of documents for reference and retrieval, or a treasury storehouse. So that is a thesaurus. That is today's word of the day, ladies and gentlemen. So now that we kind of talked about, the book, word of the day, the fundraiser, the miles, the races, kind of what we're doing here this year in general, let's get into today's episode, today's theme, day 177. For today's theme is going to be emotions. And it's that, and it kind of ties into, like I said, that race, the 50K trail race, guys, because I've said it before, kind of talked about it a little bit, but just within that race, I had went through so many emotions that it's truly, truly, truly hard to even describe. And I can describe it, and I'll describe it, but even when I describe it, you just can't really understand it unless you've done something like this before. But just doing that race, during the race alone, the emotions, the emotional roller coaster going through it, building up to it, the days before, the nerves. I knew in the back of my mind, not to sound cocky, I knew I was going to be able to get it finished. I knew I could get 31 miles. I didn't know the time. I didn't know how beat up I was going to be afterwards. In 2020 when I ran the unofficial marathon with my buddy Joe, afterwards and during, I actually got pretty beat up where I had to swallow. I had to take some Tylenol during the race. My knee was really flaring up on me during the race. So, going into this one, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if, halfway through or, mile 20, mile 22, mile 26, if an ailment was going to pop up that was going to really hold me back or anything like that. Thank God nothing like that happened. But going into the race, there were so many emotions building up to it. Like, what's going to happen? This is my first serious official race, and just the emotions getting into it, the nerves. It was nerve wracking, honestly, and even the night before, just tossing and turning, trying to sleep, and only just thinking about like in a few hours I'm gonna be waking up to like just run for at least 5-6 hours, like 7. Who knows how many hours I'm gonna be out there, but I'm gonna be out there for a long time, and like it's all I could think about, and not knowing what the trail's like, not knowing what the experience is going to be like. It was just so many things flooding my mind and keeping me up. And I did get a decent night's sleep though. Like when I finally was able to get to sleep, wasn't the time I wanted to. Didn't get it, the amount of hours I wanted, but I felt refreshed. I didn't feel too tired waking up. But getting up, the nerves even building up to the race and getting there and making sure I have everything and I'm ready and I'm dressed and just mentally it was a lot of strain, a lot of stress, and a lot of nerves. And driving there, knowing, hey, again, I'm about to embark on something that I've been working for so long, and it's such a big step in my life, and it was so scary, and the emotions again were just so high and so I had excitement, but I had fear. I had everything running through my body all at once. And I remember actually pulling up, getting out, getting all my stuff ready, and and it's like 5 minutes before start, and I feel like I'm missing something. I just feel like I'm just feeling anxious, not ready, and then finally getting in line, getting everything ready to go, and boom, the start. It happens, and remember running through it. Remember going through every single mile, every emotion going through the miles. I remember the beginning miles, really thinking and just in my head thinking like, all right, here we go. This is it. Um, you know, how in my head I'm thinking, I wonder how many miles I'm gonna get in before I start walking. I wonder how many miles I'm gonna get in before the pack breaks up and we're not everyone together on this trail. I'm asking myself all these questions and wondering what's gonna go on, wondering if it's my first trail race, wondering if I look stupid out there, wondering if I'm the only one with a camera recording and documenting, and excited, like happy, feeling good. A couple points feeling a little nervous still, but feeling good about being out there, really loving what I was doing. And then, I really recall like hitting mile 18 and really having to slow down a little bit and walk, feeling, still decent, but the heat was starting to get to me, getting real tired. I actually remember I said mile 18. I kind of skipped ahead, but halfway through, I remember getting back halfway through the loop and seeing. When I started, it was just my mom's friend Jeanette, that was there with my family, that was there to watch the race, not Joe's family or anything. They were the ones there to start, and my dad and my wife and my daughter showed up sometime during the first loop, and when I got back from the first loop, they were all there waiting for me, and they had the chairs sitting out, and then I sat down for like 20 minutes and just sitting down. I remember just being not in like pain, but just being sore and being hot and feeling relaxed and feeling good, feeling happy to see everyone, because I just spent an hour and a half, a little bit over an hour and a half out there. I guess I don't even know. Because it took me 7. I guess the second loop took me a lot longer. So I don't know, maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I think. I don't know. I said hour and a half. I think about 2.5 hours. I'm out there. So, and I get back and I sit down, and the emotions. I'm just like, I feel like the race is over, even though I'm halfway done. I just want to just relax and sit with them and enjoy the moment. Because I was happy to see my daughter and my wife, and it was just a cool experience. But I knew I had to get back out there, and getting up after that, my body felt like someone beat me. Like just sitting down for that long and then getting back up, that was, I should have just kept going. That's what I was thinking after that point, was like, wow, that really hurt me. But was able to continue to run and push through it. After pushing through it, the pain, like for maybe a quarter mile, it kind of just subsided and went away. But then I hit mile 18, so about 3 miles in, after that halfway mark, and it just got too hot. Had to walk, had to slow it down a little bit, cool off, drink some water, and kind of from there on out, it was kind of like I'd run for a few miles, and then I'd walk maybe for a half a mile, and then run for a few miles. Got to mile 26, and during that time, I had some people passing me here and there. Got to mile 26, and I don't know, like before mile 26, about mile 25, and from mile 25 to about mile 20, almost 27, I just got a real big burst of energy and ran it through, felt real great. But right at that mile 27, I got hit, and all the emotions started flooding me. I remember being out there, being sore, super hot. It got really, really hot at that point, and I was fueling myself with Tailwind nutrition, which was working really well, but it got so hot, and I was running out of water, so I eventually had to dump all the Tailwind and go strictly with water at the aid stations at that point. But I was going through so much water between the aid stations that I wasn't even carrying enough on me, and I was like getting delusional and feeling really, really kind of defeated in my head, and I was going through so many bad emotions. And I remember telling myself, like asking myself, like, what am I doing out here? Why am I running an ultra marathon? Why did I ever think this was what I wanted to do with my life? Like, I'm never doing this again. Like, yeah, picking up running was one of the best things I've ever done. I'm glad I did it. But running this, like, maybe I should just stick to running 5Ks, or just running just for fun and not even worrying about running these dumb races. Like, I was literally in a dark, dark spot out there, and like really questioning everything I was doing, and wondering like why, and telling myself I'm never doing this ever, ever, ever again. Um, and that feeling like stayed with me for a while, and even running and pushing through it, and trying to continue to run, because I was walking at that point, but then I started to run again because more people started passing me. An older lady passed me, and I was like, well, I need to start running again. Started walking again, and eventually got to the point where it was, I think, like 3 miles left, and I ran the last 3 miles, really pushed it out, started feeling good again, because I knew it was the home stretch. I knew my family was there waiting for me. I knew so many emotions, like, they're rising up in me again, just thinking about it. It was just an amazing feeling to know that I worked for something for so long, and um, to look at it as something that I thought I never would have been able to do, especially telling myself 2 years ago before I started this, hey, you're gonna run, and you're gonna run this much, and I would have never, 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 ever, ever would have thought this would have happened, never. So it was just a great, great feeling those last 3 miles. I got kind of the energy back, like I said, but still kind of was in that mentality of like, yeah, this was rough on me. I don't know if I want to do this again. Got across the finish line, teared up, cried a little bit, hugged my wife, hugged my mom, hugged my baby, my dad, thanked everyone, sat down. It was about 5 minutes, 10 minutes into it after drinking my protein shake, and went from thinking I'm never doing this again to when's the next race? What is the next race? How many miles? So the emotional roller coaster that I went through just in that one day was unbelievable. And you may be wondering why I'm talking about this day today. Emotions, why am I talking about the emotions and talking about this race? Well, it's been exactly 3 weeks to this day that I ran this race, and the emotional roller coaster is still with me today. I'm starting to still kind of come down from that high. When you have a goal and you work towards something for so long and you get it done, um, you kind of feel like you kind of lose a purpose. You feel aimless. You feel like, well, what am I doing now? Where am I going? I was working so hard for this and now I have it. Well, what am I going to do now? Well, what's next? So that was something that I'm still kind of going through. I'm still reminiscing and thinking about all of the emotions I was kind of talking about, but even in more detail. Like I've been really delving deep into these emotions and thinking about, the time I had. And, now I do got a race coming up. I got this marathon and I'm thinking about really improving my time there. But now, um, the emotion that is riding with me now is I'm thinking about this marathon, and once it's over, if I don't have something lined up, this feeling I'm feeling now is going to be 10 times worse. Like, it will send me in a real bad, like, spiral. So I'm really, really trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing next and have a couple races lined up in the future to always look forward to, because I'm always going to try to improve and get better and better and better. And um the emotions that I've gone through by really challenging myself and putting myself up to this has been unbelievable. Just this past year in general has been such a great year for um the emotions and the strength and the things I've had to deal with has been at some points unbearable, but it's been good for me. It's been definitely a developmental uh some developmental years in my life have been, these later years of me really pushing myself to do better. So I'm really grateful and thankful for them. So I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. I just wanted to talk about emotions because um, they like, again, these are emotions. I'm talking about just this specific race, but emotions. To talk about them just briefly in general, you're gonna have good emotions. You're gonna have bad emotions. They're going to ride like a roller coaster. There are gonna be ups. There's gonna be downs. Some days are gonna be better than others. Um, and maybe in just one day, it's gonna be like I just was explaining. Maybe you're gonna go from high to low in one day. That's gonna happen. But the key thing is to really understand and try to connect with your emotions. And when you're going through these feelings, is to really, one, realize that whatever feeling you're going through, happy or sad, realize that it is only going to be temporary, and you need to continuously hold on to that, because uh, sad moments or bad moments, whatever they are, whatever it is you are going through, whatever emotion it is, whatever that bad emotion, sad emotion, that could be your optimism to look forward to, is that it too shall pass. But it's also wise to also realize that even when you're having good emotions and happy emotions and things are going good, it is always also advised to always remember that this too shall pass. So life is going to always throw curveballs. It's always going to get better and worse and better and worse. Life is a roller coaster of emotions. It is a wave, and the best thing you can do is learn to try to ride it properly, to stay afloat and to ride that wave. Um, so for that, your daily discipline for the day, it is to really focus on your emotions and to ride them properly. Whatever emotion you're having today, maybe it's a bad emotion. But again, remember it will pass, and to not let it contribute to the next emotion. Don't let it evolve into a worse emotion. Remember it will pass, and to change it. Maybe you're having a good moment right now, a good emotion. But again, remember it too shall pass. So maybe instead of not letting it continue, maybe try to really, really, really appreciate it while it's here. Maybe try to really soak it up. Maybe try to take advantage and not take it for granted while you have it. Soak up as much of that good emotion as you can while it is here, because it too shall pass and it is temporary. So that is your daily discipline for the day. It is to think about your emotions, whatever emotional state you're in. Remember, it too shall pass. And either if you are in a good emotion, try to soak it up because it will pass. And if you are in a bad emotion, try not to let it fester and evolve into a worse emotion, and try to remember that stay as much positive as you can, and it too shall pass, and maybe it will get better as long as you have the outlook that you need in order for it to. So just wanted to talk about that for today, because like I said, these are the emotions that I have gone through just in that race, and I go through them on a daily basis with many, many other things. I go through these roller coasters of emotions, and these are things I have to remind myself on a daily basis. Like I said, that all this is going to pass. Everything is temporary. So these good moments I'm having aren't going to last, and these bad moments that I'm having aren't going to last. The moment itself is what you have to really try to relish and take advantage of and ride. So, thank you so much for listening. Episode 177 of the Defining Discipline podcast, Emotions. If you guys can, please give us a like, a subscribe, a follow, and a share on our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, and whatever podcast streaming platform you guys have been following along and listening on. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow for 178. I think I'm going to be driving down, meeting up with a couple of friends, and trying to do a 15K tomorrow. So that should be fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 178. Thanks so much. Make sure you guys get your donations in, get your daily discipline done, get some reading in, get the word of the day done. That's pretty much it. I'll see you guys tomorrow for 178. I am your host, Scott. This is the Defining Discipline podcast. Peace out, guys.